What's up guys, Shane O'Mac back again for Reef Lounge TV. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a walkthrough of our newest display here at the shop in Norco. This is the Waterbox 165.4. This has kind of, as you can see here, become our new goniopora display tank. Tank's been up for about a month and has basically already turned into a complete goniopora jungle. We've got a couple algae in here as well, a couple other things, a frog spawn, a couple of shrooms, a couple of plate corals, but for the most part this has turned into a giant goniopora display. This tank here has about 115 gallons of tank volume with another 40-50 down in the sump to give you 165. As far as equipment on this one, this is kind of going to be our Neptune display tank. So we have the Neptune SKYs up here. Really like the coverage on these lights and really been enjoying the daylight spectrum on these. We actually run these on this very white daylight spectrum for about 9 hours of the day. You guys can see here, this is with an orange filter. This is without. They look a lot more blue on camera than they look in person. This on camera, just looking at the viewfinder here, looks like about a 20K. This actually is a lot more what it looks like in person. As far as equipment, as I said, it's going to be our Neptune tank here. So you can see we've got an Apex on here. We've got the Neptune dose, not hooked up yet because we haven't really needed too much for this system yet. Open up the stand here. We've got the Trident on there. Little ATO, pretty bare bones as far as equipment goes. We've just got a NYOS skimmer on here, a couple of filter socks, a little bit of Biomedia down there. Not too many fish in the aquarium yet. We have a couple of wrasses. I think there's a mandarin back there. So many gunnies, they've even kind of fallen into some little cracks here. There's a couple things you might need to go back and re-glue. But this is a different tank than we've ever done before. We've never done a completely goniopora dominated tank, so this is something definitely kind of interesting. I'm curious to hear in the comments if any of you guys out there have ever done a species specific tank. I've seen a couple other people do it online. I've seen a all torch tank. I've seen quite a few like all mushroom displays, but they tend to be smaller tanks, more nanos, more things in the 10 to 20 gallon range. Never seen anybody do a 100 gallon plus display of essentially all the same type of coral. As far as different Goni strains in here, we've obviously got a little bit of the ORA red. Nothing else that's really like a high-end designer Goni yet. This is all just stuff that we've imported over the last few months. But we do have some really, really nice varieties in here, like this yellow-green. Again, camera doesn't quite capture the true color of it, but you can tell just, you know, against a lot of these other Gonis how hard it pops. We've got the flow kicked up pretty high in here right now. Some Gonis don't like quite as much flow, but these guys in here have really adapted to it in the last week or so. Got a couple really nice brightly colored frags down here. I'm seeing these kind of yellow tip ones coming in a lot. Got a lot of different stuff in here, and it's really going to be interesting to see kind of as this tank matures and all these Gonis grow together what it looks like. Like I said, when you can do a species specific tank, it allows you to really dial in that tank for that specific species of coral that you're trying to keep. Most of us nowadays are keeping mixed reefs, so we try to kind of create different zones in the tank. You might have your high flow area up top, like in this tank. You see we've kind of put all the SPS at the top with the MPs blowing directly at them. And then down here on the bottom, you tend to put more of like the low flow stuff, LPS, Gonis, mushrooms, that type of thing. But in a tank like this, when you're essentially tailoring the entire tank to what makes that particular coral happy, in this case goniopora, I'm expecting that we'll be able to make tweaks to flow, lighting, dosing, all that stuff in here over time. And ideally, we'll have the healthiest Gonis that we have in any of our systems right here, because this tank will be tweaked in a way to hopefully optimize the health of the Gonis that we have in here. So Definitely really excited to see what this one turns into. Still very young tank, still has a long way to go, nowhere near mature. But these corals have all been in here for a couple of weeks now. We haven't had any losses in this tank. This is kind of an example of how you can set up a reef tank almost overnight. This is all set up with just new water and bottled bacteria, so we didn't cheat by taking rock from any other systems or anything like that. So it can be done. I actually tell people I'm more comfortable for most corals putting corals in early on a new system more so than most fish. Obviously that's not, and that's more of just a general rule. It's not going to apply to all corals or all fish. But we started putting corals in here 48 hours after this tank was wet. We did wait about 3-4 weeks to start adding some of the first fish. And like I said, it's been smooth sailing so far. No losses of either fish or corals. And it's been about a month. I'll probably get back with you guys with an update on this tank probably around the 3 or 4 month mark. That should be long enough time period for us to see kind of a little bit of growth and see how these corals adjust to this tank over time. Give us enough time to kind of see how everything's doing and make the tweaks that we need to make, and probably swap some corals out, add some stuff, might move some stuff. You guys know we kind of keep the displays ever changing here at the shop, but this is our newest one, the goniopora tank. That's what we're going to be calling it, and excited to show this to you guys. Again, really interested to see if any of you guys watching have ever kept any species-specific tanks yourself. If you guys have any other ideas for other species-specific tanks that we could do at the shop, or just any other ideas for the shop or the channel, go ahead and leave them down there in the comments. Appreciate you guys watching. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button, and we'll catch you on the next one.